Just give me 2 minutes. I'll just putting it live on the YouTube. One second. I have some issue. 1 minute. Whether we have to wait for going for a YouTube. Can we wait for a few minutes?
Yeah, I think there is still 2 more minutes left, no, for the scheduled time.
Forget it. We'll start with it.
Okay.
Hi all, I'm Dr. Arunima Singhal. I'm the founder of Miles of Smiles group. This group is created to spread smiles. Under this group, we have SMS NGO and LMS Dental Polyclinic. Today, we are here to discuss about how dentistry is going to be during COVID. We have the team of specialists with us. We have Dr. Himanshu Garg. He is a renowned respiratory and sleep disorders physician. Right now, he is a staff specialist at Royal Darwin Hospital. He is the president of Southeast Asian Academy of Sleep Medicine, that is CSM. Welcome, Dr. Himanshu.
Thank you.
We have with us Dr. Jyoti. Jyoti with us. Dr. Jyoti has done BDS from DJ Dental College and MDS from Sri Banke Bihari Dental College and has done PGDHA from PGDHA and PGDMT from Apollo Hospital. She has worked in Sanatan Dharam Charitable Hospital for Hapur. Has taught in ITS Dental College, at present working in Serene Dental Care and Shivalik Hospital, Noida. Welcome, Dr. Jyoti.
Hello.
We have
Hello.
We have Dr. Rekha with us. Rekha is a graduate dental surgeon from VS Dental College. The idea of Dentire came to reality when Dr. Rekha was accepted as mentee to the prestigious Sherry Blair Foundation for Women Entrepreneurs. This was in year 2018. She is currently a mentor on Alumni with Foundation and completing her second year in the program. www.dentire.com is her brainchild to increase the oral and dental health awareness among the people. And Tooth Talk with Your Dentist is continuing education series for the patient awareness. Welcome, Dr. Rekha.
Thank you so much, Arunima. Thank you so much.
So here we have Dr. Himanshu to start with. I just want to know a few things, Dr. Himanshu. Like, as you know, there is a COVID and our dental patients, they are so scared to come to us. If I talk in Hindi, as my patients told me, कि doctor साहब हिंदी में भी बोलना थोड़ा. So they are scared. They don't want to come and complete the treatment at times because they are scared that they might catch the cross infection. उनको बीमार हो जाएंगे या कोविड हो जाएगा डेंटिस्ट्री का ट्रीटमेंट करवाने से. What do you think about it?
I think what we are going through unprecedented times, so कोई existing template नहीं है जिसको हम follow करें, and we know that this is going to happen next, and that nobody in the world, probably even the CDC or the WHO, had a good handle on where and how things will evolve. We live in a very evolving situation where things are changing almost on daily basis. So I think earlier advice in the initial part was कि भाई आप, if you can delay your treatment, आप delay कर लीजिए dental treatment. You can certainly delay to a point. So शुरू में, because nobody knew how long it would last, जैसे कि कुछ periods आते हैं तो people thought maybe in a month's time या 1 महीने में या 1.5-2 महीने में आप इससे overcome होंगे. Now we are already into 4th or 5th month, we are still to touch the peak in India at least, and most places in the world. Today, if you know, the WHO has recorded and the highest number of cases ever in this pandemic. So ये एक evolving situation है जो कि change हो रही है, and certain things then therefore cannot be delayed forever, like the dental treatments. If you continue to say that, okay, I'll do it next week, who knows when it will actually be over, and the way the pandemic is actually, panning out, at least in India, it is a very slow peak, and therefore it is likely it will stabilize at a high point and then become endemic. So, and even with the vaccine, I guess, the leading vaccine, the Oxford group and the AstraZeneca, although they are thinking of launching it soon, but some of the other opinions are that who knows how protective this vaccine will be. We might expedite it, हम उसको जल्दी ले आएंगे ऐसा लग रहा है, लेकिन बहुत सारी ऐसी जैसी डेंगू जैसी बीमारियां हैं जहां कोई बहुत ज्यादा रोल रहा नहीं है, या so viruses are not always amenable to vaccine. So this all, I think, leads to a scenario where we think life has to go on, and we will have to do what needs to be done. So with certain precautions, I'm sure. So the infection protection, to my understanding, in dental practices has always been an important thing. And there have been SOPs which have been there in the dental practices, been very important, more than some of the physician practices. So, but yes, this is of course the time to be more careful, but life has to go on and things have to happen, I think. Okay,
yeah.
So, Dr. Himanshu, do you think that the patients should go for the dental treatment and there should be no kind of a fear with them? Is it like that?
It's easier said than done. I mean, you can't take out the fear in anybody, I guess. The fear and the anxiety is going to be there. And just by us propagating it, it's not going to go there. I think the way we'll have to look at it is to put everything in the perspective. I think we have to put the bigger picture up, which means if you're delaying, if you're having a dental problem, and you are putting it off, how long will you be able to do that? And are you waiting for the time when the cases will go away in India? That's probably not going to happen for the next 8 months. So are you able to then therefore delay your treatment for that long? Is it then going to be even harder to treat or more expensive to treat at that point, I guess? I think those are things we need to put things in perspective for these patients. Whether we can completely take away their fears, I don't know. I think that's anxiety and fear is going to be there, but we can reassure them. I think the practices need to reassure them and go ahead and tell them of their infection control practices are really up to date, in line with the CDC or the WHO recommendations, which I think can go a long way and it will be a slow process. Patients will feel apprehensive. They are, and then some of the treatment they can then, I think, become further ambassadors of that things can go right.
Okay, Dr. Himanshu, then what do you think, like what kind of precautions we should use while doing the dental treatment?
I think there is an elaborate set of guidelines which have been given out by both the CDC and different regulatory. I'm not aware of any ICMR guideline on that. I'm sure Dental Council of India or some must have come out with the SOP, standard operating procedures, which must be. But what is very, very common, I think, is to first, is to be careful at every phone screening. When somebody is asking for an appointment, they need to be screened if they've been febrile, having any symptoms, if they've been in contact with somebody, they could, whether you always ask for somebody to, some of the hospitals I understand in Delhi are asking a COVID negative test before they're taking people for surgery. Although this is not as per the guideline, but I understand this is a standard practice. Now, where feasible, I guess this is possible, but you don't want to increase any hardships for the patients. But I think so. Some of those changes, starting from screening the patients from the phone, screening the patient at the door, where you see that, making sure that they're all wearing the PPE when the physician is, using the PPE. There is some gap between the patients, and every time, the all the facilities are cleaned appropriately as per the recommended guidelines with 40% alcohol. I think those recommendations, I'm not an expert on that, are there for all businesses, for starting in any hospital, surgeries, dental practices. I think they need to be strictly adhered to. And so I think once, if there is a complete adherence to those sort of practices, there's no reason why the infections can't be prevented.
Okay. Dr. Jyoti, I would like to have your input in this, what Dr. Himanshu has said. Since you are a periodontist, what do you think, how much it is practical to be, put all these things, what the DCI has told us, like, wearing the PPE kit and, doing all the sanitization and sterilization and things Dr. Himanshu has been telling us. What do you think we can do and how much we can do?
I think COVID-19, it has brought new challenges for everybody, for all the healthcare workers, and the outbreak, it has influenced every aspect of life. But I think it's completely safe for the dentist to do their practice, to continue with their practice, if we are following safety protocols, which has been laid down by the different regulatories or by the, as the government, they have given us some guidelines. If we take care of them, then I think it's completely safe for us to do the practice. And even the patients, they need not to be apprehensive about the dental treatment. Like, we can ask the patient to download Arogya Setu app, first of all. And then we can be more focused on the teleconsultation rather than, like earlier, what we used to do, we used to give a good amount of time for the history of the patient. Now, a detailed history, it should be taken on phone. And we can ask the patient for their Aadhaar card also, so that we can distinguish between the different containment zone, whether patient, they are coming from a green zone or red zone. So I think Aadhaar card is also must. Then the travel history of the patient and their area of work. Then once the patient, they are entering the clinic, then we should be, basically we should have infrared thermometers, non-contact thermometers, with which we can check their temperature. And we should have pulse oximeter in our clinics for checking the oxygen saturation. Then we also have to take care of basically proper doffing and donning of the PPE kits. We should be take care of that. Then we should use rubber dam while doing the treatment, and we should avoid aerosol treatment. We shouldn't be doing treatment which are basically which are generating aerosols. We can avoid that. Hello?
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear you. I can hear you, Jyoti.
Yeah. Then we can ask the patient for pre-procedure, basically mouth rinse with the betadine before proceeding with the procedure. We have to give them either chlorhexidine or betadine mouth rinse they should be doing. Then we should be wearing N95 mask, mouth mask. That is very
That
important.
is all what you are saying, Dr. Jyoti, that we should do this, we should be wearing PPE kit, we shouldn't be doing a aerosol treatment, we shouldn't be doing, we should be taking the history and all that, that all of us know that we are going to do all this. But don't you think we had been doing in past also a lot many things? No doubt the patients were coming and we were not doing up to the mark those things. But now I think most of us, our fraternity, most of our dentists would be doing. What do you think, Dr. Rekha? Am I right?
Yes, Dr. Arunima, like the way we all know, even during our college days, during our student days also, the emphasis was always on sterilization protocols. Ever since we started clinical stay from our third year onwards, when we were posted in departments to take care of patients and treat patients, I think every department was very particular that we get a set of autoclaved and sterilized instruments with us, wearing a head cap, wearing a gown. These were all something that was always a compulsory thing with dentists. So we have kind of grown into this training of taking safety precautions. But of course, I would say probably down the line, some of the practices we may not have continued into actual private practices. What was taught in colleges, what was told to us in textbooks, probably at one point, some of them may have missed out on some of the protocols. But I think now with the DCI and also the IDA giving very clear guidelines on what needs to be done, I think there is a very set rules or guidelines that have been provided for us to go back to and refer. So I think going forward from now, like how Dr. Himanshu said, probably this virus is not something that's going to go away very soon. This is here to stay, probably also undergoing changes with time and probably showing its effect in different ways. So if that is the case, then what happens is, along with operator protection, that is along with the dentist protection, patient protection also becomes equally important. So I think strict following of these guidelines going forward from now, like wearing proper personal protection gear, and these were things that were always mentioned and told to us. Correct. So practicing proper hand hygiene and wearing proper personal protection gears, I think becomes mandatory from now on. Considering, today it is COVID, tomorrow it could be any other virus.
Yeah, Dr. Rekha, just a second. I'm just cutting you in between. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
Dr. Himanshu, I just want to ask from you, doing all this, since you have heard from Dr. Jyoti and Dr. Rekha, we had been doing this. And now, since the COVID is around, so we will be more precautionary and we'll be taking more histories and things like that. What do you think with all this, with doing all this, are there still the chances of spreading COVID?
So I think COVID, we all know, is really one very infective viral infection. It's one of the most infective viral infections that we have seen, and therefore, in spite of a lot of precautions at a lot of places, we've lost healthcare workers, and be it very dentist. Delhi. So
Dr. Himanshu, I just want to ask from you, since we have heard, we were just talking before starting the meeting, like, what we heard from web, WhatsApp messages and the LinkedIn, and there is so much of mutation rate now, it is increased, and is a community spread. What do you think about all this?
I think that's just one of the things, and I mean, we've long had community spread in India, and therefore denying it very obvious has been, I think, very political compulsions, and there's just no, I mean, you have currently, in the last 24 hours, India has reported about 24,000 new cases, and 600 plus deaths. So, and this has been a trend. It's we've long had a community spread. So whether we want to use that word or we want to avoid that word for political reasons, I think that's a completely different story. But there are a couple of very good things coming out of Indian control of virus of late, and that's one is that and as I talk to my friends in Delhi, is that the hospitalizations are coming down grossly, which means a lot of patients are having a milder sort of form of illness. The mortality or the death rate from this is pretty low. And we have fortunately now doctors in the intensive care units with a lot of experience in dealing with these patients. So what I understand now is that they feel very confident. There are a number of drugs which are available now. You have the remdesivir, you have anti-IL-6, and people understand the importance of proning, looking at happy hypoxemia. So there are tools and understanding and learnings which have made us much wiser. It means the death rate and the hospitalization needs is decreasing, although we are seeing a higher number of cases, which to my mind is a reflection of increased testing, which is happening. So it shouldn't be something that we should worry. I think we've had these cases in the community for long, but we're just diagnosing them more, and we see a lot of young people. What should be more of a focus is the hospitalization and the death, which is not drastically going high, and there'll be few. So I think that's where we are. We will definitely, is for sure that India will see a long sort of tail of this infection, and that's after we hit the peak. We've still not hit the peak, and after we hit the peak, and that's the learning from Australia. We we thought we eradicated, but we had a long tail, and we had another. Now we are having a second sort of wave. So this infection is tricky. You can't take it for granted. You can't say that this, we've done it, and this area is free, and therefore some of those changes I would assume are going to be very long term. Whether I think one of the problems that in a purely private sort of scenario that it creates is of cost. And that's where I think there is a lot of struggle going on in Delhi hospitals. This increases your operating costs by at least 10-20%. So who bears that cost? It's definitely when you have like a public funding healthcare system in Australia, nobody cares. But when you have predominantly private sort of scenario, I think one of the barriers is cost. I think we'll have to be now.
Dr. Himanshu, you are not audible to us.
Oh, is it? Okay. So, were you, all of you, able to hear me? No.
Yes.
Now
yes.
I am able to hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So all I was saying is that we will see we're likely to see a long epidemic of coronavirus. It is not as fatal. Not as many people are requiring hospitalizations. The doctors are feeling very confident and more confident in dealing with it. But the risks remain. The risks are not going to go away. And some of the changes that we are going to make or need to make are going to be long term for sure. This will increase the cost of practices of hospitals, which in a private healthcare scenario does bring in some conflicts or the scope of sort of, increased mistrust. Who should pay? Why should the patient pay extra? So I think those are things that need to be resolved at a community level. Everyone needs to understand that this is where we are.
डॉक्टर ज्योति, जैसा कि डॉक्टर हिमांशु ने बोला, मैं हिंदी में बोल रही हूँ सो दैट द पेशेंट शुड अंडरस्टैंड, यू नो, ही सेड, हाँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने बोला कि हम अगर थोड़ी प्रिकॉशंस लेंगे, हमारी लाइफ चलनी चाहिए, लाइफ कभी भी नहीं रुकती किसी भी चीज के लिए, तो हमें अपनी हर चीज करनी है, कुछ प्रिकॉशन, कुछ सावधानियों के साथ अगर हम चलेंगे तो हम बहुत सारी चीजों को काबू पा सकते हैं, बहुत सारी चीजों के ऊपर जीत पा सकते हैं। इस तरह की चीजें अगर हम चलते चले जाएंगे तो डेफिनेटली हमें अपनी लाइफ को रोकना नहीं है, चलना है। जहां तक मुझे समझ आती है डॉक्टर हिमांशु का यही मतलब था। एम आई राइट डॉक्टर हिमांशु?
Yeah, that's right.
या तो डॉक्टर हिमांशु ने हमें यही समझाया कि कुछ प्रिकॉशन, कुछ सावधानियों के साथ हमें चलना चाहिए। डॉक्टर ज्योति, आपका इस बारे में क्या ख्याल है?
जैसे हम लोग भी लाइक अभी हमारी जैसे बात हो रही थी कि हम पहले जो कोविड-19 से पहले जो टाइम था और जो अब है, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ चेंज इन द डेंटल प्रैक्टिस ऑल्सो। हम लोगों ने बहुत चीजें चेंज करी हैं। जैसे अर्लियर अगर हम क्लिनिक में भी अपना ध्यान रखें, जैसे पहले हम लोग वी वर मोर फोकस्ड ऑन इंट्राओरल रेडियोग्राफी। पेशेंट आता था, एक्सरे लेते थे हम पेशेंट का। अब जो है, अब हम लोग प्रेफर करते हैं ओपीजी, एक्स्ट्रा ओरल रेडियोग्राफ्स। उसके बाद हम जो है, पहले जैसे पेशेंट आया उसको फिलिंग करवानी है, कुछ करवानी है, तो हम रोटरी इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स से हम स्टार्ट कर दिया करते थे। नाउ आई थिंक इट्स अ टाइम टू गो बैक टू योर बेसिक्स, टू योर रूट्स, जो हमें पहले सिखाया जाता था इन डेंटल कॉलेजेस। अब हम लोग क्या करते हैं, अब जो है जैसे इनामल हैचेट्स जो कि हमने अपने क्लिनिक पर हम यूज नहीं करते, अब हमने वो स्पून एक्सकेवेटर्स, अब वो सब चीजें अब निकाली हैं जो हमारे कॉलेज के टाइम की जो चीजें हैं, ताकि और इससे इन्फेक्शन जो है, वो इन्फेक्शन के चांसेस वो कम हो बेसिकली। तो आई थिंक कोविड-19 जो है, इट्स अ गुड टाइम टू गो बैक टू योर बेसिक्स, टू गो बैक टू योर रूट्स, क्योंकि आप जो है इसमें आप बिल्कुल प्रैक्टिस करिए, बट यू हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हाइल प्रैक्टिसिंग। जैसे हम लोग रूट कैनाल पहले हम करते थे, नाउ वी हैव स्टार्टेड यूजिंग सिंगल यूज हम फाइल्स जो हम यूज कर रहे हैं। और दूसरा जैसे पेमेंट का हो गया आपका, नाउ वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन डिजिटल पेमेंट्स जो है इंस्टेड ऑफ कैश, कि आप पेशेंट से डिजिटल पेमेंट्स आप करवाएं। पहले हम अपने वाटर रिजर्वॉयर का इतना ध्यान नहीं रखते थे इन डेंटल फेयर। नाउ अब हम लोग अपने वाटर रिजर्वॉयर में वी हैव स्टार्टेड यूजिंग क्लोरहेक्सिडीन। These are the few precautions which we have to take care in our practice, जो हम कोविड-19 से पहले हम नहीं किया करते थे। तो अब जो है we are more careful कि हमें कैसे प्रैक्टिस करनी है to avoid transmission of infection, and we have to treat every patient as a carrier. जो भी पेशेंट हमारे पास आ रहा है, हम यही सोच के कर रहे हैं कि this patient is a carrier of COVID-19. तो आई थिंक बहुत पहले और अब में बहुत डिफरेंस है। कोविड-19 से पहले जो हम करते थे, डेफिनेटली हम लोग ध्यान रखते थे हर चीज का, स्टरलाइजेशन का, बट नाउ वी आर मोर केयरफुल। तो आई थिंक दिस इज गुड ऑल्सो इन अ वे। तो अब यही है कि अब आगे जो है हम लोगों को पेशेंट्स को अपने यही अपने समझाना है कि देयर इज नथिंग टू वरी। आप आओ, आप डेंटल क्लिनिक में आप ट्रीटमेंट करवाओ, बट पेशेंट जो है, पेशेंट ऑल्सो हैज टू टेक केयर कि आपको किस क्लिनिक में जाना है और कहाँ नहीं जाना, और आपको कौन सा डॉक्टर आपको दिख जाता है किस किस चीजों का ध्यान रख रहा है। प्रैक्टिस तो पहले भी होती थी, क्वैक्स के यहाँ भी प्रैक्टिस होती थी, जो लोग नहीं ध्यान रखते थे, और प्रैक्टिस अभी भी होती है कि जो स्टरलाइजेशन का बहुत अच्छे से जो ध्यान रखते हैं। पहले हम लोग वेंटिलेशन पर इतना ध्यान नहीं देते थे। नाउ वी हैव ईदर वी हैव टू पुट एग्जॉस्ट, या फिर हम जो है अपने जो ऑपरेटरी जो है दैट शुड बी fully ventilated now. So अब पहले और अब में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस तो आ गया है प्रैक्टिस में। Now I think we should be prepared, क्योंकि हम लोग को नहीं पता कि कोविड-19 जो है ये कब तक रहेगा, कब तक हम लोग को इसके साथ हमें जीना है। तो हमें अपनी प्रैक्टिसेस को भी चेंज करना पड़ेगा। We have to modify our practice.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Rekha, I would like you to summarize on this. जैसा कि डॉक्टर ज्योति ने कहा कि जिंदगी चलती रहती है, जिंदगी कभी रुकती नहीं है, जिंदगी चलना ही जिंदगी का नाम है इनफैक्ट। तो मैं इसी बारे में आपसे जानना चाहूंगी कि सिंस आप साउथ में प्रैक्टिस कर रही हैं और वहां पर हम लोग नॉर्थ में हैं, नॉर्थ में थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है साउथ के कंपैरेटिवली, क्योंकि मैंने ऐसा सुना है कि जहां आप प्रैक्टिस कर रही हैं बैंगलोर में, वहां पर चीजें फिर भी थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट है एज कंपेयर टू नॉर्थ इंडिया, एज कंपेयर टू दिल्ली। तो आप क्या सोचती हैं इसके बारे में?
Actually, I think what happened, the best thing in Bangalore, considering the population, मतलब इतने सारे लोग हैं Bangalore में, almost a crore of people, here. I think in that sense, what the government did, an early lockdown protocol that they followed, and what we saw here, the March में nationwide lockdown announced किया था. In Bangalore, there were very strict protocols followed. I think our police here and the doctor's fleet, everybody took extra precautions to ensure that every rule was followed to the T. So I think in that sense, till the lockdown was opened up, I think in Bangalore we had hardly reported any cases as such. In the sense, like what you said, community spread was not there. Of course, since now the lockdown has opened up, and also like how Dr. Himanshu said, probably the testings have increased now. The availability for testings have increased now. Probably more cases are being detected. But again, we are, since the cases are increasing steadily here, I think again the government is from their end taking steps to do kind of a part lockdown, and I think the details of which we'll probably know in a day or two. मतलब exactly कैसा होगा. But Sunday is a complete lockdown as of now, so they are not permitting any gatherings. People getting together, mingling, and hanging around for a long period of time. And wearing of mouth masks is absolutely compulsory. Otherwise, they are fining people who are not wearing mouth masks. So they are again taking a very strict action against public in general, who are not following the safety precautions. So I think that also helps, to reinforce to the people that nahi, this thing has not gone yet. Although we have opened up, for you to move around, you still have to take precautions. That is mandatory, that you have to do. And like how Dr. Jyoti said, I think coming to dentistry, I think we have all upgraded our protocols now, and we are following absolutely, aseptic precautions, and like you said, wearing of face shields, protecting the operator, protecting the dentist, and also protecting the patient. A lot of steps have been taken by most of the dentists. So the way I look at it, probably the dental practice may not be such a major source of infection spread as such. And I think the community guidelines, following the community guidelines of wearing mouth masks, keeping that distance, and not getting into gatherings, I think that will be the key in spreading the infection further.
Okay, समराइजिंग एवरीथिंग, आई थिंक मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर हम डेंटिस्ट थोड़ी सी प्रिकॉशन लेकर, पीपीई किट पहनकर, पूरी प्रॉपर सैनिटाइजेशन कर हिस्ट्री लेकर अगर चलेंगे,
Yes.
तो definitely
I think history. I think at this point, I think history taking is very important. One by the medical professionals or the dental professionals, and the second thing is a huge request to all the patients to give a true travel history. And if they have any symptoms, those histories, I think patients have to come forth and tell the operator, because I think sometimes the parameters that we use, like checking temperature or checking the oxygen saturation, may not be conclusive. So I think giving a proper history will kind of help both the operator, the dentist, and the patient to take proper precautions. Because dental treatment, not everything is an emergency. मतलब ब्रिज वगैरह कराना है, स्केलिंग क्लीनिंग कराना है, कुछ नया डेंचर कराना है, they are all not emergency procedures unless there is a pain, there is a swelling, बहुत दर्द है, तेज दर्द है, सूजन हो गया है. These are emergency procedures, so these can be taken care of even if the patient has been detected as positive. Even then, with proper precautions, such emergencies can be taken care of. So I think if patients have a little more patience, in and not panic and say that, oh, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to happen. We are always there. Like how Dr. Jyoti said, we are there, available on telephones, for people to talk to us and get any, probably even medications. We give it on WhatsApp to them now. So I think in that sense, they don't have to worry, But I was just wondering if I could ask Dr. Himanshu one thing. Considering considering the virus is undergoing mutation, is what I heard, and apparently there are newer symptoms that are coming up apart from the respiratory symptoms. Is that true, Dr. Himanshu?
So, so we've not, I think we almost everyone expected the virus to mutate, but initial few months, that's what's not been seen.
Okay.
So one has to be careful to interpret whether, like the Kawasaki's disease, if you know the dilatation of the arteries in children in heart, was first reported by New York, and some of the Chinese had observed. Now, is this just, because the pace of things is so sort of fast, is this just the little bit of delay in collecting those data, or is it a new symptom or a new manifestation? They're also keeping track of the genetics now with the ability and the technological advancements. They are taking, so we know for sure the virus strain which hit New York was the one which was actually more fatal. So there is a certain degree of variance that we already know about, and certain cities which got hit by the strain. Whether it mutates further, I think remains to be seen. We can't say for sure. Some of the new symptoms that we keep hearing about every day, for example, this sense of smell, and was actually a very important symptom, which was actually an initial symptom. It just picked up, got picked up. Some of the other things I think are, which are rarer, will take time to come on the surface to be. Whether there is any cross mutation, I don't think. There are certain strains. We see patients who have more clotting in the blood and then they die of the clots. So we know of that strain. So there are a couple of 3 or 4 strains that we already know about. Whether there's been a gross mutation, I don't think we have much evidence, but they're very closely following the genetics of the virus as well.
Okay. I think that's great news. Because as and how I think newer symptoms are recognized and identified and it's being told, I think even for the general population, it helps them to become a little more alert, to understand that, okay, if this is happening, I have to report and I have to be more careful.
Yeah, that's right. So this, the situation will keep on evolving, I'm sure. But what is very heartening to see is also the clinicians have recognized 4 or 5 patterns. You either go the site, you have a cytokine storm, and people now recognize it. They check your IL-6 levels, and they treat you very well for the cytokine. They're very prepared for that.
Yeah.
Have a zero sort of a lymphocyte scenario, which is almost like an HIV. So you have the antiretroviral treatment ready for that to be used. Or you have, you go into ARDS and then use cloning. I think 5 or 6 scenarios are very well recognized now by the institutions around the world, and they're able to, and they're feeling much more confident than they were about 3 months back. So I think that's all good news. And also, I think today, hearing from all of you, it is very heartening to see that for you, it is just going to the basics. So it's always been there for you in your training, in your practice. So it's not too difficult to adapt, I guess. It is pretty easy, and going to what has already been your traditional teachings, and yes, maybe taking a step further from what has been there. So I think the patients will eventually get that message, and will feel reassured.
Yeah.
Dr. Himanshu, I want to ask one thing. Like, there is a lot of buzz on hot water. Even a lot of messages, they are being circulated on WhatsApp also, that if we sip hot water, so the virus, it gets deactivated. So is it true?
So I think this is a very traditional, these are all sort of, it comes down to drinking kada or hot water or steaming And all those traditional wisdoms, if you ask me personally, I mean, there's no scientific study done on using hot water versus. I would assume there is a bit of a benefit. Uh, any virus, which when comes to, of course, if it comes through the oronasal route, will first hold in the, we know the oropharynx in that area, and little bit, and hot water will make it less likely. And this is, I think, this is when normal influenza infections or normal bacteria. If you take something cold, you have more likely to have it. They have constant hot drinks, you are less likely. Whether it can be advocated as a treatment or a perfect solution, I don't think so. Whether it's been studied widely, I don't think so either. But traditional wisdom will, I think, will show there will be probably some benefit in doing so.
Like probably how we say, lukewarm salt water rinsing and gargling, probably that like a preventive measure.
Yes. Yes.
Suppose somebody is probably going to catch a cough or a cold considering the weather and the season this time, and that could probably lead to further infection. You can probably check it to some extent. The susceptibility to the infection is probably something you can take care of.
It's just another way of kind of using a face mask. Just if you are saying, whether it is absolutely protective, I don't think so. But yes, if you can, I think there is some merit in doing it.
Okay, that's good to know all this. Any more questions, guys? Dr. Jyoti?
I was just wondering, Dr. Himanshu, there is this basically because the virus infects the lungs, and oxygen saturation is something that we check at an initial stage to make out, try to figure out if there is some variation from the normal. Because there has been so much community spread happening now. Is it advisable for every home or every apartment complex to have some kind of a screening on a daily basis, especially if there are elderly in the house? Do you think that will kind of help recognize any earlier signs of the infection?
It certainly has. I mean, see what normally, and why is this whole thing about? Normally, when you get sick and you start having lower oxygenation, your work of breathing goes up. For some reason which is not clear, in this situation, the work of breathing does not increase proportional to your desaturation. We don't know why. So that means patients often are very late in picking up. Most of the times when you have patients with pneumonia, by the time you start to deoxygenate or you're already in hospital because you have fever, you have other things, and because of the discomfort you would have felt, you will be in the hospital. For a certain reason, therefore the term happy hypoxemia, or patients who are just happily walking around when you check their oxygen. So that's how this concept of monitoring oxygen as a very important tool in this infection came about. Now, whether the whole population should be doing it, whether the communities should be doing it even on a normal person, that's all screening, that comes in the arena of screening. It will be extremely hard, I guess, to do it on a large population. That will mean buying a lot of Chinese oximeters. I can't advocate that either. So it is useful, especially if you have any symptoms. It is something that is now advocated to be monitored even during the quarantining time. If you've tested positive, you should be monitoring your oxygen levels. But if you're not having any other problems, you've not tested positive, whether everyone should be carrying around an oximeter, I don't think so. There will be, we can justify that to that extent.
Okay. Dr. Himanshu, what is your opinion about, like, we have different mouth masks nowadays, like we have N95, then Kavach mouth mask, and then the respirators. So in your opinion, which is best for the dentist?
I think at least an N95, because you do aerosol generating procedures, and same is for like respiratory physicians. When we are doing any aerosol generating procedure like bronchoscopy or a surgical procedure, I think at least an N95 mask is definitely what I think the dental surgeon should be using. Sure, at least when they're doing some procedure.
I think the higher risk for dentists is more the proximity with which you work with the patient. You're barely a foot away from the patient. I think because of that, wearing probably even a double layer mouth mask, should be very helpful in at least preventing 90% of whatever you would inhale during a procedure.
And I strongly advocate, I think and you've already spoken about it, is the negative pressure ventilation. I think
Negative pressure.
Important, can make a lot of difference in the way the infection.
Okay.
Okay. Dr. Jyoti, would you like to summarize the things?
So now let's summarize from starting. Like when the patient they are coming, then we should ask for Arogya Setu app first of all. Then teleconsultation, complete history of the patient is must. Then after that, once the patient is on a doorstep, then we can sanitize their hand. We can give them shoe cover. Then we can ask the patient for pre-procedural mouth rinse with a chlorhexidine or the betadine. Then once we have started with the procedure, then we should use rubber dam while doing the procedure. And if we just have to make a cavity, for cavity preparation, I think we should avoid using rotary instruments nowadays. Enamel hatchets and spoon excavators, they are good enough. And while doing the root canals, we should try with a micromotor instead of handpiece, because it will create a lot of aerosol. After that, we should be taking care of our water reservoirs. That should be with the chlorhexidine. And we should try and limit the number of appointments at a given point at a single time. We should have at least half an hour to 1 hour gap between the appointments. We should also fumigate our operatory properly with a formalin. And our operatory should be well ventilated. It should be well ventilated while doing the patient. Then we have to disinfect our surface with sodium hypochlorite. I think if we are taking care of all these things, then I think dental practice is completely safe.
Okay, Dr. Rekha, would you like to summarize the things, please?
Yeah, I think Dr. Jyoti did mention all of them. She put it very well into all the points. Like again, not trying to be repetitive, but I think end of the day, each one of us have to be aware of the precautions we have to take. I think self-awareness in this whole scenario is really important. And if each one person takes care of every step and does his role properly, I think the entire community, the entire country, and then the whole world will be automatically taken care of.
Okay, Dr. Himanshu, would you like to give any inputs again?
I think, as I said, there is light at the end of the tunnel. We will definitely, not in so far future, we'll see the end of the. But meanwhile, I think there are a lot of positive things, and I think my message is strongly not to get bothered down, especially in India, by the increasing number of cases being diagnosed every day. This is a reflection of increased testing. Of course, all precautions need to be taken, and all sort of advisories need to be followed by everyone to be safe. I think we've come some way, at least in being able to treat this virus. And for patients who need dental treatments, I think I think what we heard today is very heartening. There are already strong infection control protocols in place, and I'm sure there are changes being made to deal with this epidemic.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Himanshu, thank you, Dr. Jyoti, and thank you, Dr. Rekha. तो आप सबने सुना कि जो जिंदगी है, चलना ही उसका नाम जिंदगी है, तो हमें चलना है, बस थोड़ी सी सावधानी बहुत बड़ी चीजों को रोक सकती है, बहुत बड़ी चीजों को हमारे को हानि को बचा सकती है बहुत बड़ी चीजों से। तो हमें थोड़ी सी सावधानी लेनी है, तो हमारी जिंदगी बड़ी मस्त चलने वाली है। और दोस्तों, आपने अक्सर सुना होगा कि जो एवरी क्लाउड हैज अ सिल्वर लाइनिंग, मुझे लगता है इसमें से भी कुछ अच्छा ही निकल के आएगा। सो लेट्स रॉक। एंड मुझे लगता है जितने भी मेरे डेंटिस्ट दोस्त हैं मेरी इस बात से डेफिनेटली एग्री करेंगे कि जब हम पहले डेंटिस्ट्री करते थे तो बहुत टायरिंग होती थी। तो लेट्स बी पॉजिटिव, लेट्स हैव मोर टाइम फॉर आवर फैमिलीज, लेट्स गिव पेशेंट्स मोर टाइम। जितने पेशेंट हमारे पास हैं हम उनको ज्यादा वक्त दें, देन डूइंग वी शुड डू द क्वालिटी डेंटिस्ट्री देन डूइंग अ क्वांटिटेटिव डेंटिस्ट्री। आई थिंक दैट विल बी मोर लॉजिकल, मोर प्रैक्टिकल एंड टुडेज डिमांड। अगर आप कंसल्टेशन कर रहे हैं तो कंसल्टेशन का एक प्रॉपर टाइम रखिए। अगर आप मॉर्निंग में कंसल्टेशन कर रही है उसको अलग रखिए, and then doing the treatment should be a separate time. Don't mix two things. Give more time for the teleconsultations, take proper history, take proper care of yourself and of your patient. I think with all these things and whatever we heard today from Dr. Himanshu, Dr. Jyoti and Dr. Rekha, we are going to rock. All the best, guys, and thank you everyone. Rock on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.